lot of scripture is prophetic. Even at our point right now, there is still, and it's not just the book of Revelation, by the way. A lot of the information in the Gospels is actually still prophetic because everything that relates to the kingdom of the heavens, Matthew chapter 5, the Sermon on the Mount, that's all prophetic still. Yeah, all of that. So there's still a lot of prophecy in Scripture, but it is actually Scripture. A substantial portion of Scripture was prophetic when it was actually written. Now, some of those prophecies have come about, so it's no longer prophetic, but when they were actually written, by far a majority of it was actually prophetic in what was going on. Fulfillment. Oh, and by the way, I should also say, as I'm talking about some things that relate to prophetic, we usually stick around the New Testament, but there's a lot of Old Testament prophecies that still haven't been fulfilled yet, and they're still coming. Those relate to the millennial kingdom, and then ultimately into the new heavens and the new earth. We see good examples of prophecy in Scripture being fulfilled. And that is an area that we can then understand God does exactly what he says he will do. I mean, here's a simple one. In Genesis chapter 2 and verse 17. Now, you might not think, oh, this is prophetic, but God is telling something that will happen in the future. Now, in this case, there's a condition to it, but it's still going to happen if that condition is met. And what he's talking about here is in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, dying you will die. Well, what happened to Adam when he ate? Dying, he died. And remember, that concept of dying you will die is not saying you're going to die instantly. It means by this act you guarantee your death, and that's exactly what happened. Now, granted, for Adam, it took almost 1,000 years for him to return to the ground. But he still returned to the ground, and God's words spoke true. So prophecy we have in fulfillment. And we have a lot of fulfillment in Scripture, where Scripture very clearly demonstrates when God says something, it actually comes true.